Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. In today's video, as you will have seen by the title, I'm going to be giving you a brutally honest, and I mean brutally honest, review of the new H&M Mugler collection. I have been excited about this collection to come out ever since I first heard about it, literally months. For those of you that are into your fashion, you will know that it's not often that H&M do a collaboration with a high-end designer like Mugler. Obviously they've done Balmain before, but whenever they do a collection like this, it is a minor moment in fashion history, especially someone like Thierry Mugler. I am so excited. To give you a complete rundown, I managed to get 5 pieces from the collection. I really do have very mixed opinions about this collection. At least 2 of those pieces I hated, or like I thought were just completely not worth the money. I know it's a very strong word, but then there's other pieces that I'm just head over heels in love with. So I thought it'd be kind of handy to give you a full review. I'm going to talk sizings, I'm going to talk value for money, I'm going to talk like finish and the quality of the items, so you're going to know everything that you could possibly want to know before purchasing these items, because most of these now, I think at least 90% are on resale. So especially if you're going to be spending like double your money on resale, I'm going to tell you what's worth it and what to like steer away from completely. Without further ado, let's crack on into the video. I am so excited, as you guys can probably tell. Of course, I've already done the try on clips. I will try and link the items down below for anything that might still be in stock or might be coming back in stock, but I can't make any promises on that. But yeah, as I say, without further ado, let's crack on into it because I feel like we've got a lot to talk about. I'm going to start off with a piece that I personally would not purchase again and would not recommend purchasing to anybody, and that is, quite controversially, the corset top. The finish on this, to be from a H&M and Mugler collaboration, is actually disgusting. That's no exaggeration. I know that kind of comes across a little bit strong, but when you're putting the name Mugler to a piece of clothing, it needs to merit that. Do you know what I mean? And if you just look at the finish, it's glued. This scuba material is glued onto the mesh. Tell me how that warrants an £80 price. I know obviously £80 is certainly not extortionate. There's definitely more expensive corset tops out there. I'm not trying to say it's the most expensive thing in the world, but if you are printing Mugler on the label, as they have, the quality is just horrific, in my personal opinion. Now, I don't want to come across like I'm bashing the entire collection and the entire brand, because it's not true at all. I love both brands and I do love the collection overall, but this is just a piece that I was so excited for and just disappointed me. So I think that's why my feelings are even more strong on it. Obviously, the design itself is gorgeous. It is a kind of scuba slash wetsuit material corset top with these mesh panels. It's boned, of course, and then it's got a zip at the back. The kind of idea behind it and the design I really do like. It's just the final product that has really missed the mark. What I was just confused about is that other pieces in the collection are very nicely stitched and, you know, it's not just glued onto the mesh as I said with this one. So I don't really understand why they've not done that for the corset top. I don't know if they thought it might rip or something, because obviously it is very tight fitting, but I don't understand why it's not consistent throughout the entire collection. And just, I know I've shown you before, but it's just not right for a H&M Mugler or any sort of collection really. It just looks like it's been cut and glued like you would in primary school, and that's not what we expected. Another thing to bear in mind as well is that the sizing on this is very small. I think I picked this up in an 8. Yeah, I picked this up in a UK 8, and you'll see in the Tron clips, like, there was not enough space for my boobs. Obviously you can tell as well, this is all they're allowing for the boobs. So I cannot imagine on a girl that's got bigger boobs than me, and I don't have big boobs, trying to fit into that. Do you know what I mean? It's just not a very well thought out chest size. Obviously high fashion models, it would work, but for a regular woman, this just doesn't cater to a very like large audience. So as you can probably tell, I do have a fair few complaints about this. It is probably my least favorite item in the entire collection, which is very sad to say because I wanted to love this so much, and it's a really easy to wear corset top. You can wear it with so many different things, but just the execution of it, not for me. I'm so sorry. This is literally me cutting myself off from ever getting on the H&M or Mugler PR lists ever in my life. So I hope you guys appreciate the honest truth on this, because No. Right, after that rather harsh review, I'm gonna go on to something that I absolutely loved, and that, of course, is the blazer. Now, funnily enough, as I was talking about the kind of quality and the finish, attention to detail on the corset, this is completely different, which is what I don't understand. This is super, super well sewn. In fact, I'm gonna show you. Can you see how that's like stitched the whole way round instead of just glued? This is what I mean about it not being consistent, because this is honestly the best quality blazer I've ever picked up. It's so heavy. The shape to it is amazing. Like, look at that structure. It's literally pretty much holding itself. The mesh on this seems a lot thicker. As I said, it's stitched. It's got this hook and eye detailing down, which is how you get it on and off. This really does look exactly like, and it feels exactly like, well, I say the real Mugler one, but the Mugler blazer that's not in the H&M collection, if that makes sense. It is a wool blend, and it is ethically sourced wool as well, I did read on the website, which we love. But yeah, I just really don't understand why they couldn't maintain this quality for the corset as well, because I picked this up out of the box and I kid you not, like, I was in love immediately. It's not often I can look at a piece of clothing and think, I'm never letting go of that. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna keep this in my wardrobe my whole life because I love it that much. I sort of knew and expected that the quality of this was going to be a lot better, mainly because it sold out within actual seconds. Like, I couldn't even get this on the website. I had to buy it resale. And for full transparency, I think I paid £310 for this, which is either 110 over or £60 over the actual retail price. I would happily pay £310 again for this, because the one on the Mugler website is around 2,000, I want to say. I do not mind spending a lot more money, or like a bit more money, if something is actually worth it and if something feels like it's gonna last. It looks absolutely amazing on. I cannot speak any more highly of it, because it's just, I am just that in love, which is such a contrast compared to the corset. But at least you guys know I'm being honest. I picked this up in a size 10, which is a size up to what I would usually go for, because as with lots of things in this collection, sizes were coming up a little bit small, and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't too tight around the waist. Another thing as well is that it just fits so beautifully. Like, I probably would need to tape my boobs in. I didn't actually tape them in for the try on clip, but if I was to wear it out the house and was going to be like moving or anything like that, then I would definitely need to. But aside from that, my only recommendation would be to size up maybe one size, just to ensure that when you sit down it doesn't like bend or anything like that. Not that I even think it would, because it's that high quality, but just to be on the safe side. The best item in the entire collection by a mile. I love it, and I will never be selling this. It has my whole entire heart. We're actually going to move to something which I was very pleasantly surprised about. I didn't have very high expectations for this whatsoever, but it actually turned out to be, again, one of the items in the collection that I loved the most, and that is the kind of stirrup leggings. Obviously they're mesh panelled, very Mugler. I'm pretty sure they have them on the Mugler website as well, and they're about 800, 900 just for a pair of leggings. They have the stirrup detail at the bottom, so you kind of just like hook this over your foot. But I didn't know exactly what to think about this, especially when I picked it up in my hands. I couldn't decide what I thought of the material, do you know what I mean? Because it is essentially just lycra and mesh. Again, the panels on this are actually sewn on. It's not stuck, thankfully, because I think on a pair of leggings that just wouldn't work. It's then also got the Mugler sign on the hip here, or the logo, sorry. These fit so well. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. They are very true to size. I picked these up in a size 8 and they were perfect. My only like slight, not issue with them, but my slight point is that they took about 10 minutes to get on. It was not easy. Once they were on, they fit like a glove. They were so comfortable. They were actually super flattering as well. I didn't know how they were going to sit on the waist. I didn't know if they'd be low-waisted or high-waisted or what the deal was going to be, but they actually sit really nicely, pretty high-waisted just above the belly button. Absolutely gutted that I didn't get the bodysuit for this. I might have to sell them if I can't get the bodysuit, because I just don't know what else I would wear it with. But the quality itself is beautiful. It's very true to size. As I say, these really surpassed my expectations, because I thought that they were going to be a little bit unflattering. Maybe that's just an issue I have with myself, but I thought they were going to be unflattering and I wasn't sure what the finish was going to be like. But all in all, really good, like really, really good. Obviously these aren't going to be for everybody. I don't know how I would necessarily style them if I didn't pick up the bodysuits. I think I would maybe do like an oversized blazer or something like that. I know some people are saying they look a little bit more like what you would wear if you were in a circus, which I think is actually a valid comment if you didn't have the context. And I know, of course, they're certainly not going to be for everybody because, as you can see, they are a little bit skimpy on like the bum and the front area. There's not that much coverage and it's very difficult to wear underwear with unless you have just like very skimpy underwear essentially. So I know they're not going to be for everybody, but in terms of the actual quality, I think they were £70. I can't complain. They really exceeded my expectations and I think they're really cute. Then I picked up the dress, which I'm not gonna lie is fairly similar in terms of concept to the leggings. It's just this dress here. Obviously it's still mesh paneled, but this is a high neck bodycon midi dress in the same lycra and mesh material. Again, it's got the little Mugler detailing on the shoulder here. Really, really like this. This again is very nicely made. I'll be completely honest, it's sewn really well. As you can see, it's got a zip at the back too, and it's got like a little Mugler star on it, which I thought was quite cute. I picked this up in a size 10 because it was the only one that they had left, and it's ever so slightly too big for me on the body. And sizing wise, it is a little bit strange slash off because the body itself is a little bit big, understandably so because I did size up, but the arms are so tight. I really did have to kind of like pinch and like pull up my arms. And I didn't think I had big arms, but this collection is making me feel insecure. Oh my god. All in all, really happy with this. If you have kind of slimmer arms to me, for reference, it might fit a little bit better on the arms. You can see by the kind of cut and the paneling on it, it really does kind of cinch you in and gives you the illusion of a smaller waist, which we all love. And that, in all honesty, is all I have to say about this particular item. Really nice. I'd say it's definitely worth the money as well, especially for something that has like Mugler's name on it. Do you know what I mean? I feel to a certain extent with lots of designers, you are paying for like the privilege and you are paying for the name. That's just how designer brands work. There is an element of quality obviously, but it is largely the name. I definitely think this is actually worth the money. And then finally I picked up some black trousers, and that is these here. These are going to be quite hard to show you off. Obviously there's the charm clips as well, but they have a cutout here on one of the hips, and then they have this belt here that kind of runs round. And this is the one bit about this item that I was a little bit confused about because it just looks wrong. Do you know what I mean? It's got a bit of excess baggy material there and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. And then as soon as you put it through this little belt loop here, it kind of just drops, and that's the end of it. Like, you don't tie it anywhere or anything like that, which I was confused about. Overall, in all honesty, this is another piece that I just didn't like at all. This is another wool blend piece, but the thickness of it is so different to the blazer, and I don't understand how they've gone from an amazing quality blazer like that to trousers that are honestly as thin as paper. I'm sorry, I said it. I do really like the design. I like that they kind of cinch in a little bit round the cuff, and I like the fit of them overall, but there's just a couple of things that I'm just not mad keen on. A being the quality, which is the first thing I look at when I purchase clothes, especially if it's from a H&M designer collaboration. Do you know what I mean? Like, quality is one of the things that people are going to look for and critique first. And also I just like buying pieces that are durable, and I just don't think, in all honesty, this is going to be very durable. Another thing as well is that there's nothing really that points to them being a Mugler. Like, they're very subtly H&M Mugler. It's not like you'd notice these in the street and say, oh, I know exactly where she got those from. But as you can see, even when I'm holding them up here, they hold their creases a lot, which suggests that they're thin, and it's just overly shiny and just doesn't look that good. So again, I was a little bit disappointed with these. I'm actually going to be sending these back to H&M. I don't want them. Someone else can have them. In all honesty, there's just nothing wow about these. There's nothing groundbreaking or incredible about them that's making me think, oh my god, like I need to keep these in my collection. Nothing at all, which is disappointing, but there we go. As I say, they look nice when they're on, but there's nothing special about them, and the quality is nothing to write home about. So that's my reasoning. That is actually everything I've got to show you in this video. I feel like I've been extremely honest and a little bit brutal to H&M and Mugler in here. But for a collection like this, I feel like honesty literally is the only policy. I know that's kind of like cheesy to say, but whatever. Because if you are forking out like hundreds of pounds, you need to know whether what you're spending your money on is worth it or not. I really hope this hasn't got me banned from any future PR lists. I'll be very sad and disappointed if it has. But hey ho, I always want to give you real, authentic opinions, and that's what you've got today. I'd say on the whole, I really do like the collection. I'm not gonna say I adore the collection because there's certain pieces that are just, that shouldn't have made the cut, but specifically the leggings and the blazer, especially the blazer, are hands down some of the best purchases I've made this year. There we go. So there we have it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't forget to like and subscribe below. If you like this sort of video of me being brutally honest about specific collections and specific brands, let me know because I actually really would love to do more. But for the time being, thank you so much for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye!